taking our taxi drive around London, and we come of course across Chinatown, which is an area I haven't actually visited yet. I do love Asian and Far Eastern food, but anyway, not an easy one to do because I don't really want to put lots of figures in, and a bit like the Carnaby Street one, I want to make a nice pattern and effect of it as part of our voyage around the city. Let's see what we can do, starting with the rollers again then. I think it's time to start with a new roller. They last a fairly good while, not that expensive. So what we can do with this one then. It's a fairly colourful painting again. Now the sky, like this area. This time I'm going to go for a very light greens to gold to yellows. So I'll start with my white. I'm going to put that on as a base coat and then come across with yellow afterwards. Now whatever colour I bring into the sky is going to come into the buildings as well, so I'm going to need to reflect quite a bit of light green into this, I think, which could be rather fun for the luminosity. I want to get this feeling of maybe evening, although it's daylight in the photograph. Grey, green grey. And I want to use that green grey whilst that's drying over the surface of this, so hopefully I can still see my drawing through it. Not the colour you might have expected me to be painting walls and skies with, but nonetheless it should work. Still see my drawing through this just, so it should be alright. Find my shapes through this. Other shapes across this as they reflect or shadow. Get a sort of ghostly light, half light going on in it. Just before I go back into the sky even, to do that. Okay, I want to bring across my very light yellows, but I want to be a warm yellow at first because I'm going to be using much lighter yellows in the bright lights of the streets. So let's see what our usual yellow ochre does here. Darks across that with a brush later. I'll just start to bring some of that pink over the sky as well, to link it all together before I get to my brushes. I just want to tint those with a red because the white is getting on my nerves just there. So I want to get those tinted and out of the way, like 3 red dragon eyes. Let those just sit there. Because red being opposite from the colour cycle to green, it's going to really stand out. That's another reason I did that. Okay, I want some more blues into there. Right down to here. How much to do with the brush? Just want to get the feeling of it, get the light of it with this first. So to see how much we can do with the roller first of all, before I start bringing in any more detailed tones. Okay, I've got a nice background effect going on. Add some more warmth to it now. Let's see if we can get some orange and reds going. So these paints are drying out rather rapidly with me now, and I've got to possibly work a little bit faster. Before they're totally dry, I've got to reset the whole set of paints. Once we start on these reds, we'll give it up on them. Okay, I'm going to come back in with some white on this before I carry on doing this work. Alright, I'm going to start using white with a little touch of pink into it. Just to update the sky a bit. really bring the lights out. I wanted to keep it a bit dull, but I think I'll just bring this up a fraction. So I didn't want it too bright because I'm going to be putting artificial lights into the painting later, which will quite affect the, which want to work against this this dark light. The sponge roller is very good for, I think you can see, just indicating through here. We get similar effects with watercolour by with by dry brush work and so on. And it's very useful to be able to get something nice with the roller this way. Okay, we're going to move on to our brushwork now. Basic background in. So I want to start working my darks up. Not sure yet whether to put any figures in this, maybe into the distance, or we'll see anyway in a moment. And almost straight away mix up a dark. No, it's going to make him so strong, these so sharp, these darks. I don't know how sharp to make them really. Just work our way along here first of all. Right, now back into details again, with a smaller brush perhaps. I need to start bringing out these warms. Let's try a bit of yellow ochre first of all. Don't go too strong too quickly. And into that a little bit of cadmium orange. I'll just soften it slightly with the yellow ochre. I want to start bringing out these lovely lights that are shining down these. I've got a feeling that some of this warm is also reflecting up amongst here as well, so I'm going to bring it up into this. Just want to indicate the colour that I see here, not put them in too strongly. Trying to use two pictures at once here. I'm having to work carefully to not make it look wrong. This is where the heavy body comes in now. It's a lovely light, really creamy body that I'm putting on here now. And we're talking breaking into the abstract now, because we're literally playing with abstract shapes that will give the effect of light. Again, a very different way of painting to the train yesterday, isn't it? Much looser to start with, building up these beautiful forms. The bits of light that are shining through here. And the more I look at this, the more I think I need some figures to hold it together. Go back to a smaller filament and just start to put in some of these lovely bright lights all over the spot. A lot of work to do there, just can't be done any other way but by painting spot by spot. A nice little 1/8 job should do it. And I need very strong heavy body orange to red for this. So cadmium orange into red just on the end of this tip to give me a rounded blob. Let's see what we get with that, see if that's about right. Now the first one, I've got to get these right. If they start from this window here and they're just level with there, so the first one having just a bit of red on there. And then we've got them coming, strangely enough, they're going to come across here, right up and through here as well, so that's quite fun. They can come down and just draw a light line there, up like that. Festivities. All sort of personal taste is what you want in your wall, isn't it? Do you want one of these or not? Right, coming back to here again. Red dots. A bit much. Let's magenta them down. And to link it to the magenta surrounding as well. how well it's working at the moment. It's a strange picture. Certainly, all these really strong colours, certainly a very difficult one to do. And against purple is yellow, or yellow to purple. Brings out the opposites in the colour circle, so it should sit nicely here against this yellow just up here. I'm doing that. And having dealt with purple, it's probably going to, with magenta, go back into some of these back here, because they should be dark against the light, not as red. So we get that effect of light against dark, warm against cool, rough against smooth. We do that exactly the same thing here with these lights going back. I think for me this needs to be bluer, not so black here. Alright, so I think at this stage we've got to consider whether we're going to put in figures or not. I think it does definitely need some figures, but I'm not convinced quite as where yet. Let's have a, I'm just going to make or break, as I say. Before I do that, I just want to use a larger brush just to play with some glazes. I'd like to put a little bit of a glaze over, yellow glaze over here, and bring this back a bit. Maybe that's too much. I'm convinced it's not blue it needs. It's very hard to notice what colour it actually requires up there. Let's lift it a bit again. It's such a strident point here that it's so difficult to get it right. So I've changed from black up here to a Prussian blue because black was just too stark. Right. So that's the point. Where do we go from here? It's breaking up, I think. Too pernickety with it now. God, it's very, very difficult this, you know. Probably the most difficult I've ever had to do, if it comes to it. That sky isn't as bright as I would like. Or is that because of the stuff next to it, or is it because of the actual sky? That's the problem, isn't it? What to do with that. Let's just improve those blues a bit there and see what happens. Nothing like a green behind, is there? Let's try and warm a green on that and just see what happens again. Experiment with the opposites in the colour circle. We'll see if it makes any difference. I have to try something else. I'm going to take the fat brush again, make it a very, very light cream, and see if that works out. Something has to be. Something has to work here. It's just these last, very last colours I need to get. That's a lot better, isn't it? It's a lot better tonally, it's a lot better overall. Suddenly brings it to life. Of course, if we've got those sorts of reflections going on there, we're going to have to add them into the windows a bit as well. Okay, I think I'm about there, except for figures. Standing back a minute, I feel it just needs to be warmer in the foreground. So I'm just going to take a bit of glazing down into here. Still needs, very much needs, figures, I think. This is probably the most difficult part of the day. I've got to look at doing these figures, and I'm not at all sure of myself with this one because I haven't got very good figures to work from. That's my excuse. How many to put in is the first thing. It's hard to know, isn't it? What's for the good? I didn't really want to put any figures in at all, to be honest. I'd like to keep it like the other one, but I think it actually needs it, this one. To give it depth and distance as well as more focus. Now I want to put in somebody about here, I guess. So what are they going to be? It's hard to say. I don't really, my heart's not in this, you see, I don't really want to put in a figure. No, I want to keep these two quite solid. Nothing happening now. Just trying to find my way. I think we might have a figure there, certainly. Let's try that. So that's the horizon line, the figure's got to be on this other level. Right, here we go. Just indicate a figure there. A bit of lighter blue just up here as well as something else. That is the woman. So let's see if I can just get that up in time before it dries too much. Alright, so I've got these figures in here, but it needs balancing out. I still need balance figures onto the other side, which is just leaving in the same position as I was in. I still need something here. Well, I don't know whether I need more figures in or not. It's a very hard decision to make. I'm just trying to balance out at the moment on colour and see if that can do it that way. Let's just make it a bit lighter over there. We'll try that tack first. We'll try the tack of making it lighter around her. Take a chance on going much lighter just around here. You don't want to put any more figures in unless I can help it. I don't really think I can do a lot more with this, you know. I think I'm about played this one out. So I think it's time to call it a day on this and say Chinatown is done. As much as I'm going to. Since things are fast, this paint, it's not giving me a chance to mess about. Yeah, it's just a matter of finishing off, isn't it? I'm not totally convinced about this light bit here. Might be distracting a bit. I'm going to take it down just a fraction. Throw the eyes lid in there more. Just blue this down a fraction. Or purple it down. I think that's going to about do us. We'll take a look at it then. Very difficult painting to do because it's so itsy bitsy, not a subject I'd normally choose at all.
Well, I adjusted it on the left hand post, but it still needs adjusting more, so let me show you on the computer how I intend doing this. Here you can see I've moved the left hand post inwards at the top and outwards more at the bottom, so that they both align up more correctly in perspective going vertically. Here's the previous one on the left and the one I want to do on the right. Let's go and do it. Strangely enough, I had it right in the original drawing, but I must have lost it when I was doing the glazes and washes, and then of course readjusted it and didn't get it right.
As I've just shown you, it's time to adjust this painting now. And I need to bring this inwards and outwards and then readjust this. It's so obvious, but when you're actually involved in the picture and this close up to it, you don't see it. When I painted over the glazes, of course, I painted over the actual drawing and lost the drawing of this. I don't mind that one being that far out, but this one now needs to come out like that. So let's just readjust that, and then hopefully we'll have this one right. Nice little filbert brush to do this. In fact, no, it would be better off with a straight. Oh, we'll use a straight. I'll use a flat, so this makes more sense. And first of all, I just mark it out just where I want it to come. It needs to come, well, this one comes just on the end of that. So this one needs to come, it isn't about the right place actually. Now that's better already, even having just done that look. But I think it could do with being even more yet. It's amazing how such a small thing can make such a difference. A bit more warmth to reflect on the oranges. I think we're almost there for that, you know. I don't think we need to do much more. And that's brought that back into perspective. But they make a bit of difference to the composition because they draw the eye up better. There we go, hopefully I've got it better now. See, that could have been coming across a fraction more. I think we'll leave that. Done enough. So, we'll rephotograph that. Right, it looks a lot better than it was anyway, isn't it? It's still could do with tilting a bit more to the left, but I think we'll make do at that.